Video is partnered by Mint Mobile. Hey guys, before we dive into the video, there's something special I want to share with you. Like many of you, I've been trying to cut back on expenses lately, but let's be real. It's tough when you got things to do and you don't want to give them up. But sometimes you have to make those sacrifices to pay your phone bill and satisfy the big tech companies. That was until I discovered Mint Mobile. Mint Mobile offers premium wireless services starting as low as $15 a month. With Mint Mobile, you can get high-speed data plus unlimited talk and text on the nation's largest 5G network. The best part? You get to keep your phone and even the phone number. Now, if you do want to purchase your own phone, they do have phones available on the website, which you can get through the link. The internet service is reliably fast. It's so seamless, I put it up there with any other network on the market. Now, some of you might think switching to a new service is a hassle. Let me reassure you, this is only going to take you 15 minutes to set up. You could literally do it right now from your phone. No need to leave your house or contact anybody. And if the service just so happens to not support the SIM card, Mint Mobile will personally ship you a SIM card for free. As a sweet bonus, if you sign up before May 31st, 2024, you'll also get a 6-month subscription to Paramount Plus on Mint. So if you're like me and you want to save a little bit of money without sacrificing anything, use the link trymintmobile.com/justAlex and start your wireless plan today as low as $15 a month. Don't lose out on this opportunity. Start saving money by switching to Mint Mobile today.
You have entered Alyx's world, a safe space for wrestling fans like you.
Ladies and gentlemen, as I sit here before you, it is literally 12 a.m. in the morning. And here I am live on YouTube for your AEW Double or Nothing 2024 review. Here's the thing though. I've had what feels like 30 minutes to gather my thoughts, to sum up how I feel about the show. And that's usually what I do in these live streams. These first 30 minutes are me just kind of spitballing. Streamline of consciousness about how I feel about the show. I think for the first time, and I can't believe I'm saying this, for the first time, at least for an AEW show, I'm speechless. Not even the kind of speechless where I was blown away by how great the show was. Legendary show, right? Because that was Revolution. Even Dynasty was a fantastic show. This is the kind of speechless where you genuinely worry about the safety of the men and women that performed. That Anarchy in the Arena match. That might have been, and I'm not over-exaggerating, this is not hyperbole, I truly believe that might have been the most dangerous, wildest, craziest, mad, straight madness wrestling match, if you can even call it a wrestling match, that I personally have ever seen. See, it's one thing to have blood. Cool. It's one thing to brawl in the audience. Cool. One thing to brawl backstage. Cool. One thing to dive off of rafters. Cool.
Which Anarchy in the Arena has been your favorite so far?
Favorite? That's a hell of a question. I mean, the original might be hard to top, but I'll tell you what, I don't think I would be calling this my favorite, not saying it was a bad match. Here's the thing, back to what I was saying. It's one thing to have all those things I talked about. It's another thing to have someone trying to drown you. Someone attempting legit murder by running you over with a truck. Someone setting you on fire. Someone hanging you from the rafters. Someone hitting you in the head with an explosive chair. This Anarchy in the Arena, this particular one, it got to a point where even I, someone that's been watching wrestling for 26 years and counting, it got to a point where even I felt uncomfortable. Uncomfortable watching it. It was all fun and games at first. They all came out. They had Final Countdown playing in the background. It was a straight party fest of a match. Everybody was loving it. Everybody was enjoying it. Everybody was into it. The moment that music shut off, and then the wildness started, in my head I'm thinking, y'all, is this even a wrestling match anymore? At what point do these kind of matches just stop being wrestling? Right? There has to be a certain point where we've gone beyond professional wrestling and we've just turned into a straight up, I don't even know. I was genuinely concerned for Darby Allin. And you know what, Jack Perry too. When Jack Perry got set on fire, I'm thinking, guys, oh my God, like this. And the thing is, I saw him doused in gasoline when he grabbed Tony Khan backstage. Because before he came out with Tony Khan, you see him drenched, right? That was gasoline. Because it was kind of a brownish kind of oily liquid. I said, are they going to set him on fire? And then when Darby Allin pulled out that flamethrower, I said, shit. And then they set him on fire. And I'm thinking, just so we're clear, fire in matches isn't what bothers me. Mick Foley was speared through a flaming table. That was one of my favorite spots. Is one of my favorite spots to ever happen at a WrestleMania. Period. But I don't think I've ever in my life, until tonight, when it comes to professional wrestling, seen someone get set on fire the way that Jack Perry. Now, yes, we've seen The Fiend get set on fire, but that's cinematic. That's different. You know, we have ways to get around that. They probably protected him. It does get to a point where you're watching this match and you're like, okay, did we go too far here? Because I'm literally, and I mean this, I would be perfectly fine. They're not going to. But I would be perfectly fine if they did not do another Anarchy in the Arena match. And here's why. To top this match, you would need to have a dead body. Someone would need to die. That is the only way you're going to top this match. And that scares me. Because I know in the next Anarchy in the Arena match, which who knows, might be at freaking, well, at Allin, it's going to be called Stadium Stampede, right? Whenever they do Stadium Stampede or Anarchy in the Arena, it's the same match. They're going to want to top this. And in my head, I'm like, guys, I don't think it's physically possible to top what we did here, to top what they did here without someone dying or someone coming close to death. Again, I'm trying to find my words, get my bearings on what I just saw. Because that was easily the craziest thing I've ever seen. I guess we'll talk more about it when we get to it, right? Outside of that match, one of the biggest criticisms about AEW when it comes to their pay-per-views is that the shows are just too damn long. Unfortunately, tonight was a culprit of AEW having a show that is just too damn long. Almost 5 hours. Well, if you watch the pre-show, 6 hours, but 5 hours. And some of these matches, I'm going to be honest with you, you could have cut 3 of them. You could have cut Jon Moxley and Konosuke Takeshita. There was no reason to have Takeshita lose to Jon Moxley on this pay-per-view. Especially with the Jon Moxley that has a broken arm or some type of an injury, whatever. He was a one-armed man. And the IWGP World title wasn't even on the line. You could have had Takeshita beat him here. But Takeshita still lost. He still lost. Why would you do that? Completely a waste of time. You could have cut Trent Beretta and Orange Cassidy. Orange already beat him on Dynamite. He just beat him again here. You could have cut that. You did not need to have Jericho, Hook, and Shibata. You didn't. But I guess you had to have Jericho on the show. Somehow, some way. I mean, I'm going through the matches right now. Other than those 3 matches, yeah, like, those 3 matches could have been cut. You would have literally shaved off an hour and a half. And then we would be looking at somewhere close to 3.5 hours, which is perfectly fine. Still kind of pushing it, but I would rather have that than what we got. There wasn't really a classic match. Well, okay. Tell you what. If you want to call that Anarchy in the Arena match a classic match, have at it. I'm going to let y'all have that. But there really wasn't that 5-star, oh my god, this is why AEW are the king of pay-per-views kind of match. I had Mercedes Moné and Willow Nightingale pegged to be that match, and they had an awesome match. Once again showing you that it was a mistake to not have Mercedes wrestling a long time before this. Now, I do want to talk about this right here, because I didn't get a chance to talk about it in my other live stream. The New York Post, some of you know where I'm going with this, put out an article. And in this article, they revealed that Mercedes Moné has been medically cleared to wrestle since December 2023. I'm going to say that again. Mercedes Moné has been medically cleared to wrestle since December 2023. Which means she could have been wrestling since January this year. She could have had a match at Revolution. She could have had a match at Dynasty. She could have had multiple matches on Dynamite and Rampage. They waited 5 months after she was apparently cleared to have her debut inside the ring. I don't know whose brain dead, dumbass idea that was. I don't know. Could have been Tony Khan's. It could have been Mercedes Moné's. It could have been a combination of both. But why would you wait that long to debut her? I'm sorry, Mercedes Moné, she's only known for what she does inside the ring. You can't have her come in and just do promos for 2 months. That's not what she's good at. That worked for CM Punk. But here's the difference. WWE signed CM Punk. He debuted immediately. He signed on the dotted line the day of Survivor Series. And they debuted him. And then they had him cut promos until the Royal Rumble. But CM Punk is known for his promos. Mercedes is not known for her character or her promos. She's known for her in-ring ability. So you have her debut and do literally nothing. And you kill her momentum. You kill all that momentum she had by having her just wait and prance around until we got to Double or Nothing. I'm sorry, that's ridiculous. There's no defending that. I mean, you could have at least had her wrestle a Sky Blue. I'm not saying do like a Mercedes Moné versus a Britt Baker or an Athena or like a big time match. No, you can hold that off until Double or Nothing. I'm fine with you waiting until Double or Nothing to do Willow Nightingale and Mercedes, but you could have had her fight a Sky Blue, an Anna Jay, a Penelope Ford, anybody. Literally anybody. And so now, you put yourself behind the starting line with her, and she has to rebuild, rekindle, recapture that momentum after what she did tonight. Well, you could have just, I don't know, wait to debut her in May. Or, here's a better idea, debut her early and then have her start wrestling. Since she was medically cleared. Oh, but here they come. Here come the cultists. Y'all, I pissed off the cultists when I put up this tweet. They were mad at me. Y'all should hear what they said. Well, maybe she has ring rust. Huh? She's been training for 5 months. She was cleared to compete in December. Ring rust? By the way, you know how you clean up your ring rust? By wrestling more. Maybe the article isn't legit. It's the New York Post. They've been around for decades. Yes, a lot of their posts are sensationalized. I'll give you that. They're tabloids. That kind of media stuff that gets clicks just for the sake of getting clicks. I give you that. But that doesn't mean that they don't put out stuff that's not true. It's just sensationalized. They're legit post. Maybe she wasn't 100%. Then why was she cleared? I saw that. She wasn't 100%. Why the fuck was she cleared then? Why clear her if she's not 100%? Maybe she'll overshadow Sting. Maybe she'll overshadow Swerve. Maybe she has acting as... Why are people making excuses? I'm sorry. I understand AEW is in a very sensitive, low time, right? People are... They're putting up their white knight shields because people aren't watching it. The ratings are down. Attendance is down. They're very cold as a company. There isn't enough buzz or the same type of buzz that they were known for. And so we've gone into protection mode for AEW. I get that, but that doesn't mean that they're exempt from criticism because they're not doing well in business. If anything, y'all should be mad at them even more than I am, because if Mercedes Moné was wrestling, imagine what that could have done for their ticket sales. And I have someone in the live chat, well, you've never played sports, so you wouldn't know what that's like. What does that have to do with anything? She was cleared in December. Stop making excuses for AEW when they do stupid shit. Because if WWE did this shit, you would be all over their asses. And don't you dare lie to me about that. Most of you cultists are hypocrites. You'll let this shit slide with AEW. But let it happen with WWE. Let Mercedes Moné be signed by WWE and not wrestle for 5 months. Oh, you would be eating Triple H's ass up. Pause. So I understand why you guys want me to ease up on AEW. That's not my job. I'm not going to ease up on them. When they fuck up, I'm going to call them out for it because you need to. Someone needs to. And I'll be that guy. Now, I did see that the crowd tonight was actually pretty solid. It wasn't a sold-out crowd. I think the MGM Grand, right? That seats about 17,000. They only had about 7,500. Now, to be honest with you, they usually do about 2,000. So, that's 3 times as much that they usually do for Dynamite and or Collision. So, I'm happy about that. 7,500 is a pretty solid crowd. I think they could have done more, but I'll take 7,500. I just personally think, and this is just me personally, the show we got tonight, and it was a great show. Look at my grades. There are issues that AEW, for some reason, can't seem to figure out, clean up, and get out of their own way with. All of their issues are self-inflicted. The show was too long. You didn't need to have all these matches on here. You could have taken out 3 matches. You really could have. Let's start with Mercedes Moné. You already know that doesn't make any goddamn sense. And that's the thing with AEW and why it's frustrating. It would be one thing if the things that are hurting them was stuff that was out of their control. Everything that's hurting them is stuff that they have full control over and that they can change. I don't know. I just personally feel like while I want to get excited for AEW because we got the return of MJF, apparently Adam Cole is still healing up, but he took a bump tonight. Adam Cole took a bump, so that's a good thing. I don't know what that means for him in the future. We might not see him and or the Undisputed Kingdom until probably after Allin. Probably. That's when I think he'll be 100% healed. But he took a bump. So that's a good sign. That means he's on his way to returning to the ring. But, I feel like there's enough here to where, sure, you could, without a shadow of a doubt, take what AEW has and find a way to generate some buzz again. I just saw with the Owen Hart Cup, they just announced it on the pre-show. The winners of both the women's and the men's Owen Hart Cup tournaments will get world championship matches at All In. They will main event the biggest show of the year for AEW. Thank you. Those kind of stakes make these tournaments even bigger and better and makes me want to watch them more. And people are going to say, well, they took that from King and Queen of the Ring. Okay, I don't give a fuck. If it's a good idea, take it. It's a good idea. So I'm more invested in that now than I've ever been. Regardless, there are still issues that AEW needs to watch out for. But let me go ahead and get to this review. It's past midnight, y'all. I don't want to keep you here. I want to go ahead and knock this out. I see A&B Convos Wrestling Edition is here. chatting with y'all in the live chat. Good to have you guys here. Hopefully you keep everybody company. But we're going to go ahead and do the usual pre-show stuff. We're going to do the plugs. We already did the partnership advertisement with Mint Mobile. Sign up for Mint Mobile. $15 a month for any kind of phone plan. $15 a month. That is legit a steal. And trust me, I've had a chance to use it for myself. Depending on the area you're in, this thing works great. The service is amazing. No drop calls. If you have internet, if you get unlimited, my man, it's almost like you're using any other service. For $15, check it out, for real. But outside of that, if this is the first time you're watching me, do me a solid favor. Like the video, subscribe, and click that bell to catch all my content when it comes out. Wow, your edit. Help expand the brand by doing the following things. Join the membership. Click that join button and get the opportunity to request a video of your choosing, whether it's a live reaction, a hot topic, or a review, past, present, or future. Also, don't forget to give thanks. Hit that super thanks. If you would like to donate after the fact, you can. Also, like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter at just Alyx Central. Give me a follow on Instagram. Give me a follow on Spotify. Give me a follow on Cameo, Threads, and give me a follow on TikTok. For I am the tickest of the talkest. Donate using PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, Venmo, and yes, Super Chats are officially on. You can donate at any point in time during the broadcast to get your thoughts played live on the air. Email me at justalyxsworld@gmail.com for business inquiries, just to say hi. And get yourself a t-shirt today at Pro Wrestling Tees and Teespring. Get you an old school Deluxe Man t-shirt. Get you a new school Alex's World t-shirt. But most importantly, get you a blonde hair, blue eyes, apple pie America for a limited time. These shirts are going away after SummerSlam. Once again, the blonde hair, blue eyes, apple pie t-shirts will be going away after SummerSlam. So get them now while you can, because they will not be here after a minute. You might want to hop on that, ladies and gentlemen. But I thank you all for being here. Apparently, I might be one of the only ones live right now, because everyone else decided, nah, we gonna take a break. It's too late for this. Too late for this, man. Let's go ahead and do the shout outs. As always, show some love to the moderators. Ultra, Shout Nice and Fire Star Heart, Elias Ademi, New Japan Pro Wrestling Girl, Khalil does everything. Highway dealing danger. And of course, Big MGM, because they help keep this a safe space for wrestling fans like you. Big happy birthday to Christopher Carter. I did see that Christopher Carter is indeed celebrating his birthday with us in this live chat. So a big happy birthday to Christopher Carter. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Hey. But let's go ahead and get these shout outs in. Oh, can't forget about it. Thank you, A&B Combos. Be sure you like the video. The more you like the video, the more opportunities I will be given to be recommended here on YouTube. So help boost that algorithm by hitting that like button. Up the top, I see Who Let the Dogs Out. Who let the dogs out? JJ Bulldog in his house. Higurashi YouTube member. Higurashi also here. There's a lot of people joining me past midnight, by the way. Trey Lucado. Did I say that right? Lucado? Trey Lucado? Hopefully I did. Calendar Master 420. What a name. We have Debit Money. Debit Money Adams. Lewis M. We have Matthew Pace. I also see Brandon Watson. Brandon donated earlier in the stream. Good to have you here, sir. Chris Haley. Kurt 0091. What's good, Kurt? I see. Let me scroll down a little bit. Of course, everyone's favorite reaction channel in the wrestling YouTube space. Give it up for A&B Combos Wrestling Edition. Good to have y'all here. They were live at the show, so we're definitely going to need your opinions. Your opinions on this. Slam Tackle TV, Fried Melon, 412 Hamrock, who says this weekend of wrestling has been awesome. So he enjoyed both Double or Nothing and King and Queen of the Ring. I did too. I thought both were great shows. Both were fantastic, in my opinion. Fantastic show. Emerola 408. And let me see. The last one's going to go to Mike Pringle. Mike Pringle says, barbed wire cage match, aka blood and brutality match. Wouldn't that be the Anarchy in the Arena, though? If I don't say your name, it's not because I hate you. I do want to go ahead and get to this review. I don't want to keep y'all up too long. Because Jesus Christ almighty. As I said, I don't have an issue with pay-per-views being lengthy if the card requires it. If you have a stat card and the storylines are good enough to warrant a 3-4 hour show. This was not one of those cards. One of the biggest issues plaguing AEW is the fact that their shows are just too goddamn long when they don't really need to be. I understand having your shows be long when you have 4 of them, right? You have 4 pay-per-views a year. You want to get everybody on there. And I can understand from that logical standpoint why the shows would be long. You have a pay-per-view once a month now. You don't need to have everybody on every pay-per-view. You just don't. There were 3 matches on this card that I still feel like should not have been on this card. And I think if you would have taken them off, I would be calling this one of the best shows, or at least one of the best Double or Nothings that AEW has done. But when you take into account those matches with the other amazing matches, it brings the grade down. Still a great show. But man, the replay value. I'm going to be watching the matches that I thought were great, but not the whole thing. You hear me? God, man. It was a lot. The crowd was amazing. Apparently, as I said, there was only 7,500 in there. They sounded like 12,000. They sounded like 12,000. And those are the best kind of crowds. The kind of crowds where they will make you feel like you are watching a show that is, without question, a banger. You hear me? And I feel like, this is just my opinion, when you have a crowd that hot, sometimes it's okay to get smaller, more intimate arenas. I know we want to be WWE. I know they want to do the 12, 15, 16,000 at the very least for pay-per-views, right? But if you know that you're cold and you know that fans aren't spending as much money on your shows as you want them to, it's okay to get a 5,000 seat arena and have those 5,000 fans sounding like 20,000. But 7,500, that's not bad. As I said, that's 3 times as much as they usually do on a weekly basis. Which is actually kind of sad the more I talk about it. But yeah, you gotta cut your matches. When you're making people spend $50, and that's one thing too, we're not taking into consideration. These shows are $50 each. It'd be one thing if they were on a streaming service. Maybe we could let that go. I'm spending $50 for this. Quality over quantity, please. It's okay to do 8 strong, amazing matches and leave the other ones to Dynamite or Collision. But let's go ahead and get to the first match, because I thought they kicked it off on a high note. Will Ospreay versus Roderick Strong for the AEW International Championship. This match was outstanding. An awesome opener. One issue. My only issue is what happened in the first 5 minutes. There was a spot where Will Ospreay was on the shoulders of, I believe, Mike Bennett on the outside. The referee was distracted by Roderick Strong. Matt Taven runs right in front of the referee, and the referee somehow didn't see him, but okay. He bounces off the ropes, comes back, and dives over the top rope to hit Will Ospreay. Matt Taven clips his feet on the top rope and almost breaks his neck on the outside, while Will Ospreay takes a bump and lands on his neck. I was worried for both of them when I saw that spot. I was like, Jesus Christ, guys. That could have gone so fucking wrong. Now, Will Ospreay was okay. I think he's okay. I'm not too sure. Maybe he's one of those people that is able to make it seem like he's fine, but he's really not. He finished the match. He performed like he was okay. But other than that spot, this was an awesome match. Him and Roderick Strong tore it up. You know, Roderick Strong in there, smooth as silk. Wrestling in that ring like a professional. But Will Ospreay, he says it, he is on another level. That man can wake up any crowd with the way he performs. And I love the story of him teasing the Tiger Driver 91. And him almost losing because he didn't want to hit it. I love that he has that in his arsenal. Like, that is his, all right, if I hit this, your career is over move. And they're building it up as that kind of move. As they should. Because that's the kind of move that should kill you. Once you hit him with that Tiger Driver 91, that's it. It's like the punt, right? I love it. That's a great way to make that move feel, okay, if I hit this, it's game over. It's that game over move. Break glass in case of emergency kind of move. But I like that he showed some heart and didn't want to hit it. Instead, he hit the Stormbreaker and pins Roderick Strong to become your new AEW International Champ. This is Will Ospreay's first championship in AEW. It will not be his last. So, I noticed that following this, the Undisputed Kingdom got out of the ring almost immediately. And out comes Adam Cole! Baby! Adam Cole comes out to the ring. And he talks about his ankle surgery. And, well, not his ankle surgery, his ankle recovery. I don't think he got surgery yet. Did he get surgery? I'm not too sure. I don't even remember. I think he did. I don't know. He talks about his ankle recovery and him rehabbing his ankle. And although he's not necessarily 100%, clearly he's walking, so he's not doing too bad. He calls himself the Devil, and as soon as he called himself the Devil, I went, where is he? Where is he? There's only one reason you're bringing up calling yourself the Devil with the Devil's mask. Where is he? The lights go out. The crowd knew it. You knew it. Everyone was losing their minds. Fever pitch. The vignette plays. You see a mannequin with a scarf and a suit, and you said, God damn it, he's back. Out walks MJF, and the crowd lost their minds. MJF is back, and I like that he came out with the Triple H vest. He looked good. He looked very good in that Triple H vest. I love it. I love what they're doing with him already. I'm just happy he's back. There's a certain aura that MJF brings to the TV screen, to the show, that I'm just going to be honest, the rest of the people on the roster just don't have. They just don't. MJF is a different kind of talent, the kind of talent that WWE would kill to have. But as we saw tonight, he ain't going to be in WWE anytime soon. He gets inside the ring. Adam Cole asks for a hug it out. They hug, and then MJF immediately low blows him and hits him with a brainbuster. Adam Cole took a bump. That's a good thing. That means, okay, he's almost cleared to come back. But then Adam Cole leaves the ring, and then MJF gets on the microphone. Uh-oh. Now, you already know, when he touches that microphone, shit happens. Says he's the best at what he does. A la Chris Jericho. But then he says, and I love this, I don't need a New Japan or a Vince McMahon to make me MJF. MJF made MJF. God damn. And then he answered the ultimate question about the bidding war of 2024. He turns around, shows a tattoo on the back of his ankle. And apparently, bet on yourself is a theme throughout the show. Mercedes Moné, bet on yourself. Chris Jericho, bet on yourself. MJF, bet on yourself. But this ankle basically said AEW. And then he says, you can call me the Wolf of Wrestling. Get it? Wolf of Wall Street. The Wolf of Wrestling, because I ain't fucking leaving. Crowd lost their mind. MJF is officially back. He looks good. He looks good. Now, I was a little concerned when I read reports that he had to get extra surgery. Because I'm like, ooh, does that mean he's going to be out for a little bit longer? No. No. He's not. He's back. Taking bumps, performing. You already know, if he enters that Owen Hart Cup tournament, he's going to win it. Which means we could be looking at Swerve Strickland versus MJF. Woo! Swerve versus MJF at All In? I still would want Will Ospreay and Swerve, but I'll take Swerve and MJF all day, every day. Man, we needed MJF back. We desperately needed him back because, God, these shows were bad. They were bad without him. But I'm happy he came back. Good to have our scumbag back. Bullet Club Gold. The Bang Bang Gang, excuse me. They're not called Bullet Club Gold anymore. They're called the Bang Bang Gang. Juice made his return. The Juice Robinson, made his return in this match and helped the Bang Bang Gang get a victory over Death Triangle. This feud is going to continue. But Jesus Christ, I'm so happy to see Juice Robinson back. Another one that is sorely missed. I'm sorry, Bullet Club Gold has not been the same without Juice Robinson. Jay White and the Guns, they're good. But you already know that the one with the charisma, the machismo, was Juice Robinson. And now that he's back, I feel like this group can be cool again. Guns up. I'm excited about what they're going to end up doing with the Bang Bang Gang. I don't want to say Bang Bang Scissor Gang because I almost said it. Now that Juice Robinson's back. This match was good. Lots of cool spots. If you watch any of the Lucha Bros matches, they basically did all the same spots. But ultimately, the highlight of this match was Juice Robinson. Bang Bang Gang retains. And then we move along. Oh, Lord. We move along to this match, this craziness. Timeless Toni Storm taking on Serena Deeb. So I love that we've just given up on Toni Storm being a heel and just turned her babyface. Good. If Jamie Hayter is not going to come back anytime soon, you might as well just turn Toni Storm babyface because the crowd is not going to boo her. Fans are not going to boo Toni Storm. They refuse. I refuse to boo Toni Storm. She's way too entertaining. People love and adore her. They really appreciate her commitment to this gimmick, to this Marilyn Monroe's Gone Psycho gimmick of hers. It's fucking amazing. She's one of the best characters, one of the best acts on the entire company, on the entire show. And I feel bad for Serena Deeb because this woman was gone for what feels like, a year plus? Because she was having seizure attacks. She had multiple seizures. And you would think that would get her some sympathy from the crowd. It didn't. The crowd didn't care. They love Toni Storm. Thought that was kind of fucked up, but it is what it is. Yeah, this match was great. I thought, here's the thing. Toni Storm, she is someone that has the ability to have a great technical wrestling match. The problem with Toni Storm that I've seen over the last, almost a full year now. You put her in the ring with these women that are not established. that really aren't, they don't match her style very well. So when you give her a Jamie Hayter, when you give her a Britt Baker, when you give her a Saraya, or you give her a Serena Deeb, and she's allowed to really delve deep into that old school mat wrestling kind of style, she shines. Otherwise, she's just going to be playing a character. So I thought, for me personally, this was a great match. I thought both of them went in there and tore it up. I feel bad for Serena Deeb after she lost, because I'm like, man, what do you do with her? But Toni just beats her. She beats her with a top rope Storm Zero pile driver. And that was it. Her and Mariah May, I guess, hug or comfort each other on top of the stage as flower petals fell on them. HLA. Sorry. Family show. Psych, this ain't no family show. That's A&B Combos. You want a family show, go watch A&B Combos. Alright, this is where we kind of hit a lull in the show. I'm not gonna lie. I did not care for Orange Cassidy and Trent Beretta. I just didn't. I got up to go use the restroom. I went to go get something to eat. But I did come back to watch the entire match. I like that Orange Cassidy came out to his original theme song. Between You and Me, kinda sick of the new one. I would prefer if he went back to the old one. That's just me. I don't know how y'all feel. But this match, here's my problem with this match. It was no different than the match they had on Dynamite, 2 weeks ago? It was the exact same match. Even the finish. Orange Cassidy beat Trent Beretta. He just beat him the same way. I would think that, okay, at least in the rematch, you would have Trent Beretta beat Orange Cassidy. And then, maybe we do like some type of a rubber match. No, Orange just beats him twice. And so now I'm like, well, what? So then, what are we doing here? And now Trent Beretta saying, he's done. He literally just walked up to Renee Young after he lost and said, I'm done. What does that mean? I don't know. Maybe y'all can figure it out. I genuinely do not know what they're doing with Trent Beretta. Just seems like he was just fodder for Orange Cassidy. Which sucks, but... And it does suck, because the Best Friends were a good act. But Chuck Taylor can't wrestle no more. And so now I have to worry about Trent's career. I don't know what the hell they're going to do with him. Maybe they'll add him to the Don Callis family. I don't know. Maybe we'll figure that one out. But yeah, this match was... I don't like the term bathroom break. I hate that word. That's so insulting to performers. But if you ever wanted to go to the bathroom during a match, this one was it. This was a burner match. This was one of those matches where, okay, this is a buffer to let the crowd relax. And honestly, the next match was no different because it felt like a buffer as well. FTW, not the world, but the For the World Championship. The Learning Tree, Chris Jericho, who's still trying to figure out this gimmick of his, taking on Shibata and Hook. Here's the thing with this match. There were parts that I liked. I loved when Chris Jericho brought in rolling dice, because you usually expect thumbtacks. The whole thing is, when Chris Jericho gets a black bag, it's something ridiculous. So he pulled out freaking dice from the bag, put it inside the ring, poured it out on the mat, and then they start suplexing each other on the dice, and they're selling it like they're landing on tacks. And then there was a point where both Hook and Shibata just picked up the dice and just start pelting Chris Jericho with it. Cackled. I was on the floor laughing at that. And then there was a spot where Chris Jericho, all three of them had kendo sticks. Jericho, Hook, and Shibata had kendo sticks. Chris Jericho had this black kendo stick, and he would hit him with it. And they just looked at him like, really? You hit like a bitch. They just no-sold it. Jericho's like, wait. And then he would just, man, the way he just sold the fact that none of this was working, he just, one of those things where you just go, this is why Chris Jericho is one of the greatest of all time. Love that spot. But then outside of that, I was just kind of watching this going, did this need to be on pay-per-view? We could have just did this on Dynamite. I still feel like Chris Jericho is trying to find this character of his, right? I'm not too sure if this is actually coming across better than it is for me. So I would like you guys to tell me how you feel about Chris Jericho's learning tree gimmick. I can see it being one of those disingenuous gimmicks like Bo Dallas. I know what he's going for. He's going for Bo Dallas from NXT. It's missing something. It's missing something. Bo Dallas pulled it off. Oh my God. He was fantastic with the gimmick. He pulled it off like $1 million. But I don't know. It's missing something. Bryan Keith came in afterwards and helped Chris Jericho. Well, helped Chris Jericho and Big Bill, who's 7 feet tall, and you can't teach that. Big Bill fell through a table, almost impaled himself through that table. Legit almost impaled himself because the leg stuck through the table as he was falling through it. And I was like, oh my God, that could have been horrible. But apparently Bryan Keith is now a member of the Learning Tree. Okay. Chris Jericho retains. I don't know what you do with this now. I guess you continue the feud between Hook and Chris Jericho. I don't care anymore. I just don't care. And I've been saying that for the last month or so since this feud has started. This feud has zero buzz. I don't care about anything they're doing with this. It's not getting me over. It's not getting me over. I'm not the one that has to get over. It's not getting Hook over. It's not making me care more about anybody. I'm just waiting for it to be over with. I don't care about the feud. You can get mad at me all you want. I hate this match. I genuinely hate this match. Konosuke Takeshita versus Jon Moxley. They had Konosuke Takeshita attack Jon Moxley last night on Collision and injure his arm. I said to myself, so clearly he's one-armed. They're basically going to let him win this match. And they can do that because the IWGP Championship is not on the line, right? Why not have him win? Why not give Konosuke a big win over one of the big stars of the company and establish him as a main event player? He has 2 victories over Kenny Omega. Let him get a victory over Jon Moxley. Why not? Why not? And they couldn't do it. They couldn't do it. You had Konosuke get in there and spend the entire match beating the piss out of Jon Moxley. Only for Jon Moxley to hit a curb stomp on a steel chair, knocking out Konosuke, and then hitting him with the Death Rider to pin him 1, 2, 3. Konosuke got 85% of the offense in this match and then loses in the last 30 seconds. I hate this match. How does this do anything for Konosuke Takeshita? Seriously. And whose call was it to have him lose? Well, New Japan Pro Wrestling doesn't want their champion to lose. That's stupid. Why did you book the goddamn match then? If you knew Jon Moxley could not lose, why did you book the match? This match did not need to be on this show. And you once again take a talent like Konosuke Takeshita and you make him feel Bush League. And you wonder why all these talents are stuck mid-card, undercard for 3, 4, 5 years. and they go, I don't want to be here no more. I want to go to WWE. It's because of matches like this. This was stupid. So stupid. Jon Moxley did not need this victory. At all. But, you know, I feel like I'm wasting my breath because it's clear to me that Konosuke is not one of Tony Khan's favorites. Y'all know when you're a Tony Khan favorite, you get everything. You get it all. You don't have to tell Tony Khan to book this guy a certain way or the right way because he's just going to do it because he's a Tony Khan favorite. And people are saying, I thought you were against champions losing. You know what? I'm against eliminator matches, period. But if you're going to do it, eventually a champion has to lose. This was stupid. I'm not there yet. But if this shit continues, I'm going to hope and pray Konosuke leaves AEW and goes to WWE, where I know goddamn well they'll book him like a star. What is this? Manny Carvalho says Tony Khan mentioned he wants mixed tag team championships. Nah! You got enough belts! Don't y'all got enough belts? Okay, see, this is also getting on my nerves. Well, New Japan Pro Wrestling is against DDT Pro wrestlers beating their talent. So? That has nothing to do with this match. But I guess, you know, you want to maintain the relationship. Man, fuck New Japan Pro Wrestling. I'm serious. Screw them. You got their top talent. If anything, AEW has the leverage because they took Okada from them. As well as Kota Ibushi. And many others. New Japan Pro Wrestling needs them. AEW doesn't need New Japan Pro Wrestling. We don't need Forbidden Door. Not anymore. So stupid. I'm sorry. Let's move on. I'm not going to rant no more, I promise. Because these last few matches, straight bangers. We got Adam the Brood Copeland, your TNT champ, taking on Malachi Black in his, check this out, his very first and most likely only pay-per-view championship singles match. Now, he's had championship matches, trios championship matches, but he hasn't had a singles match for a championship. And I said to myself, if there was ever a time to put the belt on Malachi Black, this is it. This is it. And I was feeling it. I was like, man, this is good. You know, Adam Copeland doesn't really need to have that belt. He can always put someone over with it. And I felt like that's where they were going. So, when the match starts, usual hardcore match, using barbed wire, cut themselves open. Here comes the blood, using steel chairs. And it's brutal. They are beating the piss out of each other. There was a spot in this match where Adam Copeland put Malachi Black on the table. Follow me here. On the table. He wraps him in barbed wire so he can't move from the table. Adam Copeland climbs the top of this barbed wire steel cage. He climbs it to the top. He reaches the top. Okay? He looks down, and I'm thinking, oh my God, please don't kill yourself, Edge. Adam, whatever the hell we're calling you, please don't die. For the love of God, please don't die. This man. This man jumped off the cell. And I think midway down, he abandoned the move altogether and then his feet stretched down as he was falling. Guys, I swear to God, I thought he shattered his ankles. I thought he shattered his legs. Jim Cornette style. I thought both of Edge's, Adam Copeland's legs were broken. That was a nasty spot. I was worried for him, man. I was worried. I'm like, he's never going to walk again. That's it. He somehow got up. I hope he's okay. He finished the match, but I hope he's okay. Now, at some point, Malachi Black kicks Adam Copeland outside the cage. And this is not a winner wins by escaping the cage kind of match. That's not what this is. Outwalk the House of Black. And they tease, I love this. They teased joining up with Adam Copeland. Because they do the whole, okay, we're standing by our leader. Then they walk over to Adam and turn to face Malachi Black. And we're thinking, oh shit. Are they turning against Malachi Black? And I bought it for a minute. I actually bought it. I said, oh fuck, that's not good. But then they turned on Adam. And I was like, okay. Then they get inside the ring and they do this very controversial scene where they make a crown out of barbed wire and put it on Adam Copeland's head. Christians are not going to like that. But before he could do the black mass to end the match, red lights. And we're thinking, okay, when this happened on Dynamite, blood fell from the ceiling, right? But then Buddy Matthews goes to one side of the ring, and then he gets scared by something. The hole opens up. Fucking Gangrel! Gangrel shows up and helps Adam Copeland beat the House of Black and retain his championship. The Brood made their return and took out the House of Black. Yo! And here's the thing, Gangrel looked good. He looked good. I love this match. This was great. Listen, there's something about when AEW does violent matches, of course, when they don't go too far. But when they do them just right, man, it really does hit. This was awesome. This was a great match. I thought Adam Copeland came out looking like the legend that he is. And even though Malachi Black lost, I didn't necessarily feel like it buried him. I honestly feel like this feud is going to continue. Right? I think we're not done with this. I think we're going to continue it. Although I'm a bit worried that Malachi Black still won't win that belt. I think they're going to give it to Jack Perry, and we'll talk about that later. But this match was great. If y'all like a good bloodfest, violent match, watch this one. Don't watch Anarchy In The Arena. Finally, after a full year of being gone from the ring, Mercedes Mone made her in-ring return to take on the TBS champion, Willow Nightingale. I've been telling y'all that all this talk about her not being worth the money, her being a bust, Mercedes Mone is dead in the water already, dead on arrival. I said, all that's going to stop the moment she starts wrestling again. I really hate that AEW kept her out of the ring for 5 months when she was cleared in December. That is such a long time to not have someone wrestle. But now that she's back to wrestling full time, you got a lot of work to do to get her momentum back. You got to get that momentum back so then she can start selling tickets for you. But she made an awesome entrance. Loved the drum line, the glow-in-the-dark glasses suits. She came out, great entrance. Willow came out looking like, I don't know what she was looking like. Lizzo? Anyone got a Lizzo feeling? Some of y'all just went because no. Like, she had the same kind of hair that Lizzo has. Regardless, it was a great look. When the bell rung, almost instantaneously, Mercedes ran to the ropes and cowered away. I said, yes! She's a heel! God damn it! Because I was worried about that. I'm like, please don't wrestle as a babyface. She wrestled as a straight heel. Straight up heel in this match. Running away, cheap shots, catching her below the legs. I loved it. It made Willow look that much more better. Because Willow was tossing Mercedes around to and fro. Man, there was a spot in this match. I forgot when it happened. But Willow hit a pounce on Mercedes, and I swear to God, she did a complete 360 in thin air before she hit the mat and landed on the back of her head. That shit was amazing. That pounce was crazy. Mercedes is great at what she does inside the ring. And the crowd was all over this match. The crowd loved it, as they should have. These two had an awesome match. Now, I will admit, if you really paid attention, you could tell there were moments of ring rust, which is expected because she's not wrestling as often. As she wrestles more, she'll clean that up. But that's what happens when you don't wrestle for 5 months. As she continues to wrestle, those spots where she's having a bit of ring rust, where she's a little slow, or she doesn't quite hit a move as clean as she wants to, that shit will get cleaned up the more she wrestles. So I'm not worried about that. I'm actually very surprised that it was as minimal as it was. Some of you didn't even notice that she was rusty, but she looked good. She was moving great, and she sold wonderfully. But in the end, Chris Statlander and Stokely Hathaway distract the referee, while Willow Nightingale hits the sit-out power bomb, or the doctor bomb, on Mercedes and pins her 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, count to 100. The referee ain't there. So Willow had a visual pin on Mercedes. We're not done with this feud. Thank you. But then, of course, when the referee turned back around, Mercedes hits the money maker. That, the gory buster slam, or whatever the hell you calling it. Is that what it's called? The Mone? Is it the Mone maker or the money maker? I think it's the Mone maker. She hits it and pins her 1, 2, 3. So you already know that this feud is going to continue. Good. She needs her rematch. She got a visual pin on Mercedes. But then after the match, after Mercedes gets the championship, as you all know what's going to happen, you knew that Mercedes was going to walk away the TBS champ. That's not a spoiler for anybody. You knew it was going to happen. What wasn't a spoiler, what I didn't see coming, was after the match, Stokely Hathaway starts giving Willow the business, yelling at her, making her feel like shit, and then Chris Statlander pushes Stokely Hathaway, right? And then Chris Statlander and Willow walk out of the ring, and before they even touch the ramp, boom! Chris Statlander throws Willow to the ground. She hits the ground head first. Chris turns heel on Willow. So Willow Nightingale loses her best friends and her championship. Not a great night. Not a great night. And then Willow went on Twitter and basically said, well, fuck. Well, fuck. I like that. I can imagine her doing that. Well, fuck. Yeah, that's basically what happened. AEW, congratulations. You have yourself a sympathetic babyface. Very rare. Fans love Willow. And they're going to love her anymore. They're going to love her even more now. And you have yourself a very strong heel champion in Mercedes Moné. Don't fuck it up. Use them both as best as you can. I'm not trying to hear any excuses now. There's no excuse whatsoever. For these two not to be used properly. I love this. Man, I'm just glad Mercedes is back inside the ring. And I hope she continues to wrestle the way she does. Swerve Strickland, your AEW champion, took on Christian Cage. Y'all all know how I feel about this match. Wasn't feeling it as a pay-per-view World Championship match. After watching it, still wasn't feeling it as a pay-per-view World Championship match. But the match was great. As you would expect, Christian Cage and Swerve started off slow, built up to a big climactic moment. You had interferences from Mama Wayne and Nick Wayne and Kill Switch or Luchasaurus, whatever the fuck you want to call them. And Swerve handled all of them. Prince Nana got tossed out early. Whether he came back with a pipe to take on Nick Wayne. Yeah, a couple of false finishes where Christian Cage hit the kill switch, but Swerve kicked out of him, because why wouldn't he? And then he beat him with the house call. Whose house? Kicked him in the face. And he retained. And that was it. I gave the match, what, a B+? I thought the match was great. But coming out of it, I just feel like, yeah, that really wasn't a match I felt I had to pay $50 to see. You get me? That wasn't a $50 kind of match. But it was a great match, if I'm being honest with you. So who fights Swerve now for Forbidden Door? Whoever it is, don't beat Tanahashi. Don't beat Tanahashi. For the love of God, don't wrestle Tanahashi. Oh boy, is it time? Yep, it's time. The final match on the card. Oh, goodness gracious. I'm gonna need my notes. Let me pull out these notes really quickly. Because Jesus Christ. Stars above. God in heaven. So much happened in this match. There's no way for anybody to remember everything that happened without notes. So we're going to get notes. 1 second. All right. I'm going to scroll down here a little bit so I can recap literally everything that fucking happened. You might want to fasten your seatbelts because this one's going to be a bumpy ride. So, everyone makes their entrances. Young Bucks come out through the midway. They got the little mini Vader. And then, of course, Okada gets the same entrance. And then, before Jack Perry can come out comes Team AEW to whip some ass. Team AEW blindsides the Elite during their entrances. And then brawling ensues. It's just chaos. Chair shots, tables, falling on concrete, fighting in the audience. Matthew Jackson gets on the microphone and says he has an idea. He wants to play their new theme song while the fight is going on. And so their theme song plays while they're fighting, and you're like, wow. It's one of those things, right? It's going to be one of those nights. Oh, yes, sir. And before it can even get past 30 seconds, Bryan Danielson gets the microphone and goes, "Shut that shit off!" I howled at that. Shut that shit off. And then he said, "We're going to turn on the greatest theme song in the wrestling history, in the history of wrestling." And then the final countdown plays. Yo, when final countdown played, you couldn't wipe the smile off my face. Seeing them all just beat the shit out of each other. Darby Allin doing a freaking coffin drop off of a balcony. At the climax, before the chorus, "It's the final countdown." Do-ba-do-do. Bruh. This shit was great. And then freaking Matt Jackson gets on the microphone and says, "Hey, turn this off. We don't have the budget. We have to pay $200K to play it each time." $200K? Oh my god. I can't, man. I can't. That was nuts. $200K. Okay. So at this point in time, they're just brawling. They're just all over the place. We see Jack Perry and Darby Allin go backstage. Darby Allin tosses Jack Perry into literally a tub of water and I'm not making this up. He tries to drown him in a tub of ice water. Yeah, that happened. Perry escapes. And then Darby starts choking him with a lead pipe. leaving him for dead. They go back to the arena. We see people getting suplexed through chairs. And now we see FTR busted open. Now we're seeing blood. Right? And then we go backstage to see Jack Perry in a truck. And then he's speeding to a pile that we're assuming has Darby Allin in it. And then he runs over the pile. And we're thinking, okay, well, he killed Darby Allin. Rest in peace. Jesus Christ. I got nothing for that. I got nothing for that. Like, he hit him with a truck. What do you say? FTR hits a spike pile driver on Nicholas on the mat. And then hit the Powerplex. Love that tag team finisher. So now everybody's bleeding. Danielson's bleeding. FTR is bleeding. The Young Bucks are... I don't think the Young Bucks bled. Were they bleeding? I don't remember. So, throughout all of this, we then go backstage. And I'm not making this up. The last thing I remember before this happened was them hitting the Indie Taker on that big poker chip. Right off the stage, when you come out, there's an entrance ramp. Right next to the entrance ramp is like these stacks of poker chips. They hit an Indie Taker on that poker chip, and it was crazy. It was crazy. But anyways, we go backstage. And we see Jack Perry drenched in gasoline, in his gasoline. But then he grabs Tony Khan. He comes to the ring. While this is happening, we see Matt Jackson jump off of the stage and hit a swanton bomb through a table. Okada hits an elbow drop off the stage as well. And then as soon as they do those moves, Darby Allin runs out with a flamethrower. I said, please, please, please. I swear to God, if you set him on fire, I'm going to lose my mind. Jack Perry walks out with Tony Khan. Tony Khan does a barrel roll down the ramp as Darby Allin flames, sprays, lights on fire Jack Perry. Jack Perry got lit on fire, y'all. And I'm losing my mind like, what are we doing? What? And immediately, they just start spraying him with fire extinguisher. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. Like, what the fuck? What? Oh my God. And they take that freaking flamethrower from Darby Allin. Darby Allin is wearing a protective mask with barbed wire on it. That was a thing. And they just basically beat the shit out of him. They beat the shit out of him. You know, Darby Allin hits a coffin drop on freaking Okada, but the Young Bucks break it up. And then they point to the rafters. They say, drop it. Some person backstage drops a zip line. I said, what is this? A zip line? What? Oh, you're going to hang him now? No, you're not going to hang him. Yeah. They wrapped it around Darby Allin's ankles. They say, lift it up. Darby Allin, like a dead body, gets hung upside down from a zip line hanging from the rafters. I said to myself, this was the part where it got into uncomfortable territory. Because then you see blood dripping down his head to the mat while he's being hung upside down. And I said to myself, okay. This is no longer fun to watch. We've entered uncomfortable territory now. Please don't fall, Darby. Because it could go wrong. All it could take is for that wire to snap, and then he's done. That's it for Darby. He's dead. And so, the match continues. The match continues with Darby Allin hanging upside down, like a dead body. They hit a double super kick with spiked shoes, their Reebok shoes that are coming out soon. The Young Bucks had Reebok shoes with spikes on the bottom. They hit a double super kick to Darby out. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, guys. When does this stop being a wrestling match? It didn't. It just got even more wilder. And then the match, thankfully ends when Okada hits the Rainmaker on Bryan Danielson. And then the scapegoat, Jack Perry, hits a running knee, Bryan Danielson's finisher on Bryan Danielson, and pins on 1, 2, 3. And the fans are chanting, please help Darby. Please help Darby. The match is over. They immediately cut the show off. I said, yeah, get someone inside that ring. Get Darby down now. There was no fallout. The match was over, and they ended the show. And I was just sitting there like, did we just jump the shark? I don't think we did, per se, yet. But I'm scared that if they do another Anarchy in the Arena match, they might end up jumping the shark. Because the only way to top this one is for there to be a dead body. Someone would need to die. So I'm praying and hoping that this is it. Can we cut it off after this? Like, do we need to do another? Do we honestly need to do another Anarchy in the Arena match? No, we don't. We don't need it. Horror show, man. What a horror show this was. But it was the kind of horror show that people are going to remember. That main event. Again, there were parts where I absolutely loved it and thought, man, this is why I'm a wrestling fan. We get to the end of that match, though, where it gets super uncomfortable, and I go, okay, guys, be sure that I know that we're playing, simulated fighting here, but please be sure he doesn't fall. We already got Martha. I can't say her name. Martha Hart backstage, Owen Hart's widow. Let's not do something to make her think about what happened to Owen, please. So it was crazy. Yeah. I'm curious to know what y'all feel about that Anarchy in the Arena match. Really, I want you guys to take over. Seriously, this is your floor now. Take over. Talk to me about the matches. What match stood out to you the most? What match do you feel was the match of the night? What grade would you give the show? A being the highest, F being the lowest. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest. Talk to me. What would you rate this show overall? AB Convo says, what's so awful to watch in person? I was really pissed off. His nose was already broke before they kicked him in it. He passed out. Yeah. That was scary. Again, I'm not trying to sit here and tell y'all how to feel about anything, but that was nuts. There is such a thing as maybe we might have gone just a little bit too far. Right? Oh, Jesus Christ, bro. I just... Oh, man. It is one of those things where, this is just me personally, where we say we want hardcore, crazy wrestling. Well, we got it. We can't just say we don't want it now. We told AEW we want hardcore wrestling. Well, here it is. And usually I'd be cool. Usually I'm the guy that's like, yeah, this is what it is. This is wrestling. But when you make me feel uncomfortable, that's where I go, oh, okay. Maybe this was a bit much. I can't imagine what it was like for everyone else. I'll say, Khalil does everything. Alyx, I've seen a few highlights from the scrum. Nothing noteworthy happened. Tanahashi was there. And not only Tony Khan said he's open for mixed titles, he's also open for the women's tag team titles. We don't need any more belts. We got too many belts as it is. Fried Melon gives the show a B. Raw Colors gave it a 6 out of 10. It wasn't terrible by any means, but it didn't live up to the usual AEW standard pay-per-views. You sure about that? You sure about that one? Seven out of 10 for JJ. Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? JJ Bulldog. That's not bad. That's not bad. I see that super chat. KB Brown. Up here past midnight. Homeboy out here. Oh wait, you can leave comments on people's super chats now? Oh y'all. That's what's up. KB Brown, what a fat super chat. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate that. We're gonna let it play in just a second. There it is.
Just wanted to tell you you're doing a great job, Alyx. Love the show.
My God, thank you, KB Brown. $100 past midnight? Wow. AK Gaming gave it a 6 out of 10. Okay, that's another 6 out of 10. So people are feeling like it didn't live up to the standard of an average AEW pay-per-view. That's interesting. AB Combos gave it a 7.5 out of 10. Okay, that's solid. So a B minus. B minus is what that is. Mike Pringle gave it an 8 out of 10. They could have let those 3 matches off. It was a good show. I did enjoy 3 women matches, though. Yeah, the 3 women. Mercedes Moné, Willow Nightingale, Toni Storm, and Serena Deeb, and of course, Thunder Rosa, and Deonna Purrazzo on the pre-show, which I didn't talk about. Yeah, those matches were pretty decent. Slam Tackle TV keeps asking me this question. How about we do Cody Rhodes versus Andrade for the title? I'm not against it. You need to build up Andrade. He needs some wins. I think the match would be great, but you gotta build it up. Seriously, I would be for it, but you gotta build up Andrade first. I would put Deonna Purrazzo versus Thunder Rosa on the card over the 3 stinkers. Oh, you mean those 3 matches that shouldn't have been on the card? Well, look. Regardless of how you feel about those matches, the matches themselves weren't bad. It's just oversaturated the card. That's the problem. When you oversaturate the card, it just makes matches that might be good to great feel even less important or just bland because it's too much wrestling. Again, you don't have to have 5-hour shows no more. You got a pay-per-view every single month, almost every single month. You can cut back on the amount of matches on each on each show, on each card. AB Combo said crowd wasn't all that lit for Deeb and Storm. Interestingly enough. Yeah, but the match was great though. I did notice that the crowd was kind of dead for it, but the match was great. It is what it is though. What can we do? Let me go to my community tab and see what it's looking like for the voting. So I am looking at voting right now, and we got 214 votes. 25% say it's a fantastic show, so they gave it an A. 50% gave it a B, which is exactly what I thought was going to happen. So 50% of the votes, that's close to literally 100, I guess. Maybe a little bit over it. 50% said it was a good show. Yeah, because that's how I felt. Good show. Great show, even. 17% said okay. Only 9% said awful. It wasn't awful. It was not awful at all.
Mone versus Willow versus Chris for TBS title, very soon?
We could do it. They can say Chris Statlander attacked. Yeah, they can always say Chris Statlander attacked Mercedes Moné that one time on Dynamite, so they might say that. They might say that. I don't know if they will. A&B Combo said the show was, with the pre-show, 5 hours plus. It was way too long, man. Way too long. Toni Storm versus Britt Baker will cook. I agree, JJ. 100% agree. It should cook. It better cook. I'll be pissed off if it doesn't. Better make some really good food. Juan Herrera. I miss my girl, Julia Hart. You're going to have to miss her a little bit longer because she's injured. She is injured and will not be here for a while. Yo, KB Brown, you should come compete for the Super Chat Championship at SummerSlam. See if you can take the title away from Corporate Clyde. I wonder where the other peeps are, because you know 3 Diglets and Franklin Torres and then Corporate Clyde, they're always just kind of just peeping in and out. And they always just kind of just pop up, but they be watching. It is late though, so they're probably actually not here, because it is really late. Haha. Britt Baker, thumbs down. Who wrote that? Was that B? B, did you write that? Here's the thing, B. At the very least, if they do Britt Baker and Toni Storm, you can see Toni Storm whip that ass before Britt Baker wins the title. Come on, look here. If they're going to turn Toni Storm babyface, we need a heel to beat her. That would be Britt Baker. And so when Jamie Hayter comes back, Jamie Hayter can fight Britt Baker. So you know how this works. I'm sorry. Shadow Star. I honestly hate how AEW books their original wrestlers like how they book their original wrestlers. What? I wouldn't be surprised if any of them quit the company in the near future. Also, I give the show a B+. Sweet! Oh, another super chat. Y'all bringing... Look, I will stay up here as long as y'all want if y'all keep donating. Because look here, there hasn't been a lot of donations throughout the entire month of May because wrestling has been kind of cold. So if y'all want to make up for it tonight, I'll take all your donations. For every donation, you guys get an extra 5 minutes. How about that? So if y'all want me to stay up here longer, keep donating. I'm not going nowhere. Hit me with them donations, ma'ams and sirs. Which I'll also talk about. Let me see. And yeah, you can actually like the donations too. I gave this one a like. That's so cool. I didn't even know you can like them like that. That's really cool. I hear that you can respond to them as well. Let me scroll back a little bit.
I must be a psychopath because I liked Anarchy in the Arena.
Oh yeah, if you're watching wrestling nowadays, you're definitely a psychopath. So that was already, dude, you already told me you were a psychopath the moment you subscribed to my channel, because you have to be crazy to watch me. I'm joking. You're all not crazy. Kinda. Might be a little loony, but not crazy. Thank you for the donation, sir. Yeah, I agree. The weekend of wrestling was really, really good. was a really good week of wrestling for everybody. And as we move into the summer, I do expect things to get hot again. Hopefully for both shows. I know it's going to get hot for WWE, but I would like it to get hot for AEW as well. I love this. Gangrel aged. I can't say aged for some reason. Gangrel aged like fine wine. I agree. He has aged like fine wine. Night Pringle says, that wasn't Anarchy in the Arena, that was the Purge. We still got blood and guts, and I wonder what Darby's gonna do in that match. Oh God, that's right. They got blood and guts and then Stadium Stampede. Lord have mercy, y'all. What are we doing?
Baker versus Mone will cook just as Tony versus Baker.
Oh my God. Wherever you give to Tony or Mercedes, it's going to be bangers. Because those are great women's champions. Both of them. Like I said, y'all, I'm not going nowhere. Keep donating. If you keep donating, I'll just keep adding on 5 more minutes. And we'll just keep on going. Khalil Does Everything says, I thought we were going to see Megan Bane or Camille. I thought we were going to see Camille. That's what I thought as well. I thought Camille was going to come out and help Mercedes beat Willow Nightingale. That would have been nice. The problem solver for Mercedes Mone or whatever the hell. But I think they're going to instead debut her as a singles competitor. Mike Pringle says, I think they should unify the international and continental titles. They need to get rid of one of those mid-card belts. One of them needs to go. I agree. They need one mid-card belt, one world championship, which they do have, thank God. One set of tag team belts, whether it's trios or singles. And then, for the women, one mid-card, one world. Okay, I don't mind them having 2 belts for the women, because that is a big women's roster. That's a huge women's roster. But other than those 5 belts, let me see, let me try this again. So, world, mid-card, tag, women's, and then secondary women's. Yeah. Well, see, here's the thing though. So they have like 3 mid-card belts. They have the TNT title, the Continental title, and the International title. That's too many fucking belts. That's too many belts. I mean, I guess you could keep the TNT title, so what is that? Alright, let's try this again. World. International. TNT. I'm dropping the Continental. Tag. Then Women's World, and then the TBS. 6 belts. Okay, 6 belts is fine. 6 belts is actually perfect. JB Snackin says, next Anarchy in the Arena is going to be straight up guns and knives. Jesus Christ almighty. John Bill II. You know what Anarchy in the Arena reminds me of? That scene from Justice League, Dark Apocalypse War. Dark Apocalypse War, we all remember what happened to the Justice League. Oh, they got stomped. They got stomped really badly. All of them got stomped. It was a massacre. But is Gangrel Christian's father figure? Oh God. Let's not do that. Reunite the full brood? That would be interesting though. Alright, y'all. I think the super chats have stopped, so we're gonna go ahead and end it. It's about to be 2 a.m. We're going to stop it here. The next time you'll see me will be in 3 weeks for Clash at the Castle WWE for pay-per-view review. I am going to be up here tomorrow. Well, tonight, for Raw. So check that one out. And yeah, as always, thank you guys for watching. Do all the YouTube things. Like the video, subscribe, and click that bell to catch all my content when it comes out. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and donate using PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, and Venmo. You guys are awesome. Hey, I hope you guys are having a great day, and always know you are welcome to right here in Alyx's world. The place that is, was, and forever will be a safe space for wrestling fans like you. Peace. When you're